a lovely plant. It's a great way to start with something alive.
Welcome, Janie Peterson.
Hey, girl, hey.
She has become a lawyer.
Oh.
Just since Scott was arrested and convicted. So she's his sister-in-law.
Only a woman could have done this.
And his attorney, or?
And went and got a whole ass law degree to fight for his freedom.
Scott and Lacey's wedding was quite the event.
Ugh. She looked way too good for him is what she looked.
Way too good for him.
Does she sincerely believe he's innocent?
100% she does, yes. 100%. I also heard that his other sister, that she's a sister-in-law, but his sister from either his mom or dad's previous marriage, he's the only one of his mom and dad together. Mm-hmm. She wrote a book about why he's guilty. Oh. Because of all the things that she noticed after. And he'd like stayed with her and stuff. I want to get this book.
Oh, maybe we should have a little KQ book club.
Ooh, I did that once. See? Well, but I did it with a long form podcast. So instead of a book club, it was a podcast club. Yeah. We listened to episodes and talked about it. It was fun.
We can do that.
Yeah. I can't read. I'm illiterate.
We'll send you to Zoolander school.
The Derek Zoolander Center for Kids Who Can't Read Good.
For kids who can't read good.
Yeah.
I regret not testifying.
Is he just like, it's been 20 years, time for a new tactic?
Yeah.
I think the public was so interested in this case initially because of Lacey. This was a beautiful...
She looked just like her mom, too. They had perfect teeth.
I know, I'm jealous. Look at him. Ugh. I don't like the way he walks.
I don't either. His orange-ass hair when he wasn't running.
Ugh.
And why some people think that he didn't do it.
Who are these people, besides his sister-in-law, that think he didn't do it?
The LA Innocence Project is taking...
So I also heard, because when I heard Innocence Project,
yeah,
I was like, okay, that gives me pause.
Yeah.
Because they don't take cases they can't win. Apparently the LA Innocence Project is its own thing. It was started a couple years ago.
Okay.
Doesn't make it not valid, but
right.
It's not like the Innocence Project is what I'm hearing.
Today, convicted killer Scott.
How does he just look like such an asshole all the time? That is talent.
Yeah, honestly, it's impressive.
He didn't age well, I'm not gonna lie.
No, he did not. Does he have a man bun?
Oh, God.
Do you see that? It looks like it's...
Scott Peterson was back in court today, seeking a new trial.
Where was this claim when we were in trial?
Exactly.
But what if they didn't know it was there? They can't do that if they don't know it's there.
But how did they figure out it was here now? Her name's Aphrodite. Shut up.
Aphrodite Jones. Oh, yeah.
Obsessed.
I know. I feel like I got gypped. My name's not Aphrodite.
Right? Oh, wow. That's a shirt. A mugshot with a fake news. It's giving modern day politics. Oh, look at that puppy.
I started researching this case.
Wait, did she just take up this cause on her own?
She's so on trend with her oversized sweater. Look at her.
It is a circumstantial evidence case. You can take one piece of evidence and it could be a sign of guilt or the opposite.
Okay, so she took this up on her own.
Yeah, I think so.
My name is Janie Peterson. I'm Scott and Lacey Peterson's sister-in-law.
I wonder how Lacey's family feels with them being like, I'm Scott and Lacey's.
I was just thinking that too.
Like technically you are.
But also, it feels yucky.
Yeah,
It feels yucky when you say
They don't want Lacey's name in your mouth, I don't think.
People who are like, my very pregnant wife knew I was sleeping with other people and she was totally fine with it. Like, maybe those people are out there. I don't think so, though. I don't think that was this.
Not even a little bit. And Lacey was a firecracker.
Yeah.
She was not gonna lay down and take that.
No.
I don't think so. Certainly not. I'm not gonna tell anybody about it. None of her friends knew about it. Her mom didn't know about it. Like,
yeah.
No. She would have said something to somebody.
Pregnant women are hormonal, too. As a former pregnant woman.
Yeah, it might have been the other way around. Like, he might be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show people what the truth is, and if they're willing to accept it, maybe that takes a little bit of hurt off my family. Don't trust me, but look at the evidence.
Fair. I don't trust you. I will look at the evidence.
There's just a lot of questions questions that I still have, and I'm not sure how he's gonna. I'm not sure how he's gonna try to turn this around.
Because it is a circumstantial case.
Right.
Nobody saw him kill her. Nobody saw him move her body. None of that kind of stuff. But
the circumstances are very...
The circumstances are circumstancing.
Very, very much so, yeah.
It does bother me that the state does not have to prove how, when, and where. You know?
Yeah.
Like, she's dead.
Right.
But we don't know how he killed her because decomposition.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he likely strangled her. That's happens a lot.
Yeah.
There was no blood anywhere in the house or anything like that. And there was no, obviously she was decomposed, but there were no like gunshot wounds to like a skull or anything like that that I remember them. Obviously they didn't find that. We don't know exactly when, and we don't know where it happened.
Right.
So that does say you or I were charged with murder. We'd want them to have to prove that.
Yeah. I mean, it leaves a lot up in the air.
Yeah.
For sure.
But they just have to prove that he had the means, the motive, and opportunity, and he had all three.
There's just a lot of the circumstantial evidence is very strong.
Yes. Like, her body and Connor's body turning up exactly where he was is very strong.
Yeah.
Like, 90 miles away from your house, dude. If it was down the street from their house, that could have been anybody, right? Like, I don't know. Crazy.
All right, let's see.
Let's see.
It's Christmas Eve. I'm at my cabin with my family.
You know, his wife was pissed.
Oh my God, I know.
On a holiday, it's not good news.
Ruined Christmas for so many people.
Sergeant said, "Do you mind?" And when I get there, introduce me to Scott Peterson.
He means business.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't have the near panic that everybody else we met after that had.
Okay, everyone handles a crisis differently. That is not indicative of guilt.
No.
However, if I'm missing and my husband is not losing his shit,
oh yeah,
when I come back, I'm losing mine. Yep. Because what the F?
Or I'm haunting him.
Oh, I'm haunting him regardless.
That's true.
It just seems like something a good wife would do.
The first place you look and the first place you have to clear out is the person closest to the victim, and that was her husband.
Makes sense, yep.
And in his interviews, he's not like, you guys got to get out there and find her. Is somebody out there at least looking for her? Like, he just was very...
You know, they went with, you know, the top hit statistically. It's likely to be the husband. And it was the person they had in front of them.
Because it is likely to be the husband.
Or the wife, if it's the man that dies.
Correct.
That's fair.
Do you know what the #1 killer of pregnant women is in the United States?
Baby daddies?
Yes. Domestic violence.
Yeah.
That is the #1 thing that kills pregnant women.
I mean, so why would you would want to eliminate the most likely suspect first? Mm-hmm. He's also the person that's going to have the most information about her, about her daily habits, about what mental state she's been in. Like, he's going to know the most.
Yeah. You have to start
small and branch out.
And work your way out. And they never were able to... Now, again, we'll see what they say here.
Yeah.
But they were never able to clear him. Like, but it just... Them being like... They just had Scott in front of him and they just went with it.
I feel like the likelihood of random murder is so much lower than the likelihood of being murdered by someone you know, particularly your partner, because they're with you all the time. They're the person that's with you the most.
Particularly your partner, who on December 9th, 2002 told Amber Fry, "This will be the first Christmas I have without my wife because I lost her."
Yeah.
He better explain that. That he needs to explain.
There are no defensive wounds. There's no murder weapon. There are no witnesses of any crime, and there's no crime scene. They have nothing.
I don't disagree with that.
And this is Lacey. Can you tell she's pregnant? Look at that stomach. It's really sticking out. That's not mean. That's being nice because it's not.
She's like, thanks, Mom.
I know.
Family all loved him. He and Lacey Peterson were sort of this perfect couple.
What have we learned about perfect couples?
And you know damn well their relationship wasn't perfect. Like,
also, unless my husband is physically or like mentally seriously harming me, I'm not telling my friend, my parent. I'm not telling everyone every single disagreement, argument we have, because then that poisons them against him when it's really just me being frustrated. You know what I mean? Like, that's not fair to them either. So.
And many women don't realize something's not right. They think that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
They don't say anything. Like, there's all kinds of reasons. But he's a love bomber. He did that to Amber in the beginning. He did it to Lacey in the beginning.
Scott wanted us to meet Lacey. I remember him introducing Lacey as meet the future Mrs. Peterson. And I just went, oh, nice to meet you.
That feels like a lot of pressure.
But he's got a fishing license dated for the 23rd and 24th. And then he left.
So he probably got it the day before?
Yeah, I believe he got it the 22nd for the next 2 days.
Yeah.
His story matched up with the evidence from the cell phone record.
Okay.
Also on Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Interesting that he's like leaving a voicemail like, hey, it's 2:15. Do you know what my voicemail does? Tracks what time it is.
Yep.
For me.
The message he leaves Lacey is like they're newlyweds. I mean, it's gooey and it's, I love you, honey, and I can't wait to come home and see you. To me, it was really...
Historically, do we get those kinds of voicemails?
Right. I'd like to hear other voicemails.
Lacey has a cell phone, obviously, because he left her a voicemail.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't answer at 2 o'clock. When he gets home at, what, 4 something?
Mm-hmm.
And she's not there, does he call her again?
No. Not that I'm aware of.
So he calls her one time.
Her cell phone was in her car in the driveway as well, but yeah.
Well, but he didn't know that. But also, if her car's in the driveway, why would you think she's at her mother's house?
Yeah.
It just seems very suspicious that he's like, hey, she's not here. Is she at your house? Even though her car
is right here and her purse is still hanging in the bedroom, and yeah.
Yeah.
He is a man, and he sees what he sees, and he does what he can.
I mean, I get you don't want to jump to the immediate worst, but,
Right.
like, why are you not blowing up her phone?
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
hey, what's up? Where are you? I can't find you.
And Sharon said, her mom, that when he called her and said, is Lacey with you? And she said, no. He said, well, she's missing. And she said, that was jarring to me. Like, well, have you called her friends yet? He's like, no. And she's like, well, call people.
Yeah.
Like,
we can't jump to this conclusion
Yeah.
immediately. Maybe you say, oh, I can't find her. She's not home. I was just checking around.
yeah, I got to make some more phone calls.
Yeah.
Why are they filming her doing her fucking yard work? I mean, she looks great, but that would piss me off.
Yeah.
Through that receipt, we were able to backtrack drive time and narrow down to when she found the dog at about 10:18 in the morning. With Scott claiming that Lacey was there at the house when he left, whatever happened to Lacey happened before 10:18 in the morning.
They drew the conclusion.
Yes, right.
that the dog in the street meant Lacey was already dead.
Even if she wasn't already dead, she wasn't
She was
there.
gone,
She was
yeah.
gone.
She has disappeared without a trace.
Is Scott Peterson a suspect or is he not?
They're not calling him a suspect, yet they're not ruling anyone out.
Okay, but they do this with every case.
Yes.
This isn't Scott Peterson specific.
No.
This isn't, we're targeting you because we don't like you. This is typically in these situations, this is what happens. This is the investigative path we're following.
It started to narrow the focus on Scott because we still weren't able to clear him yet.
They would have come right out and said that he was
Yeah.
a suspect immediately if they just were never going to look anywhere else.
Yeah. Well, and even if you're not familiar with how this goes, like, would you not assume that if your partner is missing, your brother's partner is missing, that they're going to investigate him thoroughly,
Right.
and the family and
Yeah.
her friends? Like, he didn't deny them access the night of. Okay.
And that was a cursory search. Now they want to go
Exactly.
in and do the full thing. Yeah.
That's also they don't know who they're looking at, so they're not going to spend time going through every single drawer in your house.
Yeah.
When there's no, like, when there's possibility that she was kidnapped by someone, like.
Some residue was found consistent with somebody making several different concrete anchors.
Interesting.
Looks like he made 5 anchors, but we only found 1.
In addition to that, there was concrete residue along the inside edge of the boat that would be there if somebody was rolling a weighted body with homemade concrete anchors out of the boat and into the water. There were so many pieces.
So he is saying the concrete residue, was up over the side. Okay.
In 4 different, or like along the side, right?
And she says, my name is Amber Fry, and I'm dating Scott Peterson.
That's just, wow.
Gross. Okay. Would Amber have motive to lie, to incriminate him? Yes, because she doesn't maybe know that he's being suspected. Well, she knows now he's being suspected of murder, but he's also lied to her because he told her he lost his wife. He did, but the timeline was off.
Yeah.
So she has some motive to incriminate him, but
possibly, yeah.
But
But
it ain't looking good for him either way.
No, that does not look good for him. And look, can you cheat on your wife and not kill her? 100%. Absolutely. Can you be a dick and not murder your wife?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's the preference, actually. If you're going to be an asshole, just don't murder somebody.
That is the preference, yeah. The depths that he went to make sure that Amber didn't find out, even once. So, okay, say he didn't do it.
Yeah.
He has not murdered his wife. He left her alone on Christmas Eve all day while she was pregnant, cleaning your house. We'll overlook that. And then he comes back and she's gone, but he knows he has a girlfriend.
Yeah.
So, are there sometimes reasons that you will lie to the police, but you're not guilty of that crime?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing. I didn't want you to find out, whatever. Okay. So, I understand that. But even after, supposedly you still love your wife, she's pregnant, you still want to have this baby with her. Now she's missing. You didn't know she was going to go missing, but now she's missing. And now you're worried. And now you don't know where she is. But you continue to not go on camera because you don't want Amber to see the news and find out that that's your wife.
Yeah.
That's why he does that. And then he goes to her vigil and he pretends that he's at the Eiffel Tower and he's giving her all these reasons why he can't see her right now, obviously because he's
busy.
Balls deep in the police. And like, so
you're lying to too many people.
Yeah, and at that point, one would think at that point, okay, I have this girlfriend, but my wife is missing. She's pregnant with our child. That's my priority right now. Obviously, this affair is going to have to go away. Like, I can't deal with that anymore. I can't continue to pretend that. Yeah. I need to get my face on camera so I can appeal to people, find her, all this stuff. But he doesn't do that. He still hides. He's still...
Well, it becomes very apparent in that moment that Lacey's not the priority.
Yes.
Amber's not the priority. Scott is the priority.
Scott's always the priority, isn't he?
Okay, let's go.
She learned that he was involved in this case, and she had information for us.
So I go in the Radio Shack right next door. I said, I'm going to buy you a
Radio
cassette
Shack.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
It ain't even 5 seconds. I plug it in. And there her phone rings.
Hey, beautiful. His wife is missing.
How true that is. I wonder who you are.
Now things were starting to take shape.
Okay. Okay.
Cringe.
We taped something like 29 hours and 15 minutes of wiretap.
I want to listen to all 29 hours of that.
From the top,
From the top.
He constantly lied to her about, I'm in Europe, I'm in Paris, I'm in Alaska.
Why did she think he was there? Like, what did she think he was doing?
Traveling with family for the holidays.
To Alaska and Paris and, okay. What an eclectic trip to take.
Oh, yes, you said you lost your wife.
I said that I lost my wife.
Yes, you did.
I did, and yes.
How did you lose her then, before she was lost?
Excellent question, Amber.
He's lying about things he doesn't need to lie about. That's how pathological he is.
Preach, Aphrodite.
Also, it feels very much like, oh, so you think I'm a liar now? Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you think I'm a terrible person? I would not do that. I mean, I've been cheating on my pregnant wife, and I've been lying my ass off to you.
But that's different.
That's different.
Physical evidence and circumstantial evidence indicated that Scott likely killed her that morning. Wrapped her, dragged her through the house, loaded her in the truck, covered her with the patio umbrellas, drove to the warehouse, drove up to Berkeley Marina, dumped her in the water. She was weighted with the homemade concrete anchors, made the staged call to Lacey's cell phone.
Hey, beautiful. I just left a message at home.
Came back, washed his clothes, ate some pizza, drank some milk, took a shower, called Sharon. Where's Lacey?
The pizza and the milk is really, it's too much.
I'm surprised he didn't have a can of Chef Boyardee ravioli.
See, because you didn't want to be married and you didn't want to be a father.
I just don't get that argument. It's just absolutely not true.
I so get it, but it's not true. Just trust me. Where's the trust? I was being childish, so I slept with someone else. Also, is he implying that that's the first time he slept with her? Because that doesn't account for the month before.
Correct.
Focus the attention on him.
The search for Lacey's gonna stop as soon as the police officers or the public know that I was having sex with another woman. The knowledge of her was a time bomb.
No, the search for her's not going to stop. The search for the suspect is going to narrow significantly.
But also, if he's saying, well, they're just going to think that I killed her and she's dead and they're not going to keep searching for her alive, they were right.
Yeah.
She was dead.
And they were still searching.
Yeah, like...
They still want to find her regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
He's the king of deflecting and excuses. This man has an excuse for everything.
Yes.
Found out that Scott was having an affair. It was very disappointing.
Yes, 100%. Because up until this point, they're a wonderful, loving, happy, perfect couple.
No problems.
And now you're sleeping with somebody else. That's a problem. Look at his stupid smug face. Ugh. Now there's a rift between her family and Scott. Yeah!
Big time.
What did you expect to happen? That they would be like, oh, it's okay that you were sleeping with this other lady because your wife's missing now and we definitely don't think it was you.
We felt like it was getting to the point where the police were focused solely on Scott.
Yeah, girl.
If he did not do this, he is the unluckiest man in the world. And again, I know we're only on episode 1.
I'm Gary Ermoin. I'm a private investigator, and I've worked here in Modesto, California for about the last 40 years.
All right, here's going to be our witnesses, I think.
Hiring a private investigator at the same time that the cops are investigating, not interfere with their investigation in some ways? Like, are you working with them? Are you sharing information?
Not always. It depends on if they
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying I wouldn't do the same thing, but also, like, are you helping or hurting? You know?
Yeah.
I noticed a beautiful young lady, very pregnant. She was struggling with a dog, a golden retriever, and I asked her, why did you see that pregnant lady?
I said, I hope she doesn't fall. And we just went on about our business.
How far of a route is this?
It looks far.
Yeah. When I was 8 months pregnant, I couldn't even...
I was barely walking around the house.
No. Like, when I would go walk the dogs, I'd, like, get to the front door. I'd be like, oh, fuck, I gotta pee again.
You're like...
And then I'd get to the driveway, and I'm like, I gotta go pee again.
Yep. I'm assuming he's doing this specific route because this is the route she always walked.
Like, I would like to know that.
Because... Are they remembering this because it's been all over the media before he got to them? Okay.
I remember her, but how far of a route is this? Because she's still got to walk her ass all the way back.
Yeah.
And it was pretty obvious to me I could put together a path that she had taken.
Okay, but the path you put together, is it the path she normally takes?
That looked pretty far.
It did.
Yeah,
Well,
so that's where this episode ends.
I don't feel like this gave us much new information.
No. And it is interesting to me that when they said, well, why didn't you tell the police about Amber first? And he's like, well, I felt like if she came out, he was basically trying to placate her so that she wouldn't say anything, because then they wouldn't look for Lacey alive. Not telling them about Amber doesn't mean you killed her, but stop saying you were doing it for Lacey.
Yeah, no.
Stop.
No.
Say, because I was a selfish prick.
Yeah.
Be honest. At this point, be honest.
Yeah, it's going to look better. I mean, It's not going to look good either way, but it's going to look better if you're like, look.
Yeah.
I was doing some real messed up stuff, okay?
Yes.
I don't want my wife to know. This is going to blow up. It's going to make me look bad. But if I want to find my wife, I need you to know that this information exists out here.
Well, that's it. That's episode 1. So come back next week for episode 2.
Where we hear more from Scott Peterson.
Yay.
It's going to be the joy of your life and ours too.
Always.
Bye.
Bye.